And so we want to make sure we cover some things around understanding how assessments and behavioral analytics can drive agile mindsets and support enterprise transformation. And so this is kind of like, how do you leverage the data to truly understand where your culture is at and where you want to go? And how are you going to leverage that to do the transformation? We want to explore human synergistics organizational culture inventory, the OCI in short. It's an amazing tool. I've used it numerous times, and I feel like it has a great way of letting you into what's really going on in your organization and where you need to focus your efforts, because it diagnoses where you need to really spend time and energy based on where you want to be versus where you are today. And so it kind of brings together those two things to really help you understand where the biggest impact's at. Trying to give some perspective around how important culture is to profitability, to productivity, to an organization. And these are the kinds of things that speak to leaders because that's what they want to hear, right? Any thoughts or questions relative to those numbers?
As you look at like a tech company like Microsoft or some of those, and you think about culture, but then you also think about potential for increasing revenue as well. So I just would be interested too, from a perspective of, was it top heavy related to industry?
Yeah.
My suspicion is it isn't one thing.
Oh gosh, no. I mean, you don't, yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, when I look at what we'll show a case study for one of the things that we did in the past with the OCI, it was not one thing. You can't just put a training program in place and think
Exactly.
revenue, right?
As much as the business leaders want us to have a magic
No,
bullet,
absolutely no. There's multiple levers that you have to pull to get there for sure.
Oh, I'd love to hear about those levers because I think that's how we can educate these leaders. It's like, you know what, if you want this, we can do it, but it's going to take a commitment from you and consistent approach. And that
Yes.
all of that will help, but it isn't just learning and development or any change agents crossing the line because you look around, you're the only one across the line.
Right.
What people really resonate with is the fact that you can take a really complex topic that's really deep and has a lot of layers like culture and plot it on a circle. This is called the circumplex. A picture's worth 1,000 words here. Once you start seeing culture profiles and seeing a snapshot of culture of the entire organization or by department or by level, you understand immediately what's going on at a deeper level without going through tons of bar charts. So this gives us a way to see what's leading to performance. So how culture works. So we have our written values on our website, and we take the ideal culture profile in every organization. We ask what should be expected to maximize effectiveness. And people say the blue stuff. And if all is going well, and as somebody astutely pointed out, there's so many aspects of culture and levers for culture change.
I wanted to share with you an organization where I leveraged this, and we'll talk about where it was at some point, but it was a Fortune 500 company, and I went in an organization when we were transitioning CEOs. And so we actually did an ideal, so where do you want the culture to be of the organization and where do you think it is now with that leadership team? And we said, we've got some fairly significant gaps in terms of this leadership team, where we want to go and where we are now. So how are we going to address those things? So when we asked the top 100 leaders in the organization what their ideal culture was, this is what they came up with. And then we said, well, what does it look like in terms of how it actually plays out today? That's what they said it looked like. What we ended up doing was creating a leadership program that really shifted their thinking and really drove a different experience for them. OCI gave us insight into what are the levers we needed to pull. And it wasn't just leadership training, but there was a plethora of things we needed to do.